allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Few public notices. Farmers Market is Saturday, 10 to 1, and October 13th is going to be the last day. Autumn Fest is October 20th from 11 to 4. They're still accepting vendors. You can visit the website to register and find out more information. And the Halloween time from the police chief is going to be on October 31st between 5 and 7 p.m. I think that should do that. Then this evening now we're going to be starting the budget reviews. Did you hand those out?
We can do that. Check.
Good now.
I figure if that's all they're waiting on.
Is that all they're waiting on?
I believe so.
And the.
I thought you were here to spend the evening. No?
As much as I'd love to.
Trustee.
Okay.
But we were also gonna, I think, have a conversation about the pool. But we don't have to do that tonight.
Yeah,
if
that
you guys
would
don't want
be-
to. That's fine too. We can reschedule.
Okay, before we start on the budgets, Nicole has provided us with a check from actually two checks from the Children's Fair, from the Congregational Church. And one is in the amount of $200 for the rec department for the soccer program. And one is for $200 for the rec department for the softball. I'd like to read this briefly. This is a letter to Nicole from the New Ipswich Children's Fair Executive Committee. Enclosed, you will find a donation for the 2018 New Ipswich Children's Fair. The purpose of the Children's Fair is to share the love of Jesus Christ through our words and deeds. We are excited to share the beautiful harvest that the Lord has provided. He is faithful to us in every year, and we are in awe of how He blessed our Children's Fair. As He blesses, we have been able to bless the children. We have carefully reviewed your application and have selected your organization for a donation based on your needs. Please receive this money with our prayers and hope for all your future endeavors. Above all, we pray that every child, regardless of circumstances or status, should know the hope, the joy, and the peace that is theirs through the salvation of Jesus Christ. To be a part of it anyway is an honor. Thank you in advance for your prayers and support they give us for the success of the Children's Fair. And it's from the Children's Fairs Committee. Want to make a motion?
Motion to accept the funds donated by the Children's Fair for the rec department.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And we'd like to thank the Children's Fund for helping the town out with this.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Doyle, are you not going to join the budget committee members at the table?
I am in the meeting room.
That's fine, just don't want you to feel neglected.
And first determine if there's a meeting.
Okay, on our list, we have emergency management as the first budget to be reviewed. Just for those of you this was submitted by George Carmichael, and we have not received any backup with it. However, the first item on here was the stipend for the director and the stipend for the deputy. The FICA and the Medicare will need to be adjusted once we get those final rates, as we typically do on all of the budgets. The education and training is being requested to be the same. It wasn't used last year under training, but with new positions that will probably be used up in the coming year. Travel reimbursement would be the same. The computer was a one-time cost last year, so that's been deleted. Excuse me. Communication, including telephones portion, remained the same. They were just under budget last year. General supplies remain the same, and he's relabeled trailer maintenance, since that's been done, to shelving and chairs for the radios in the EMD office, and that's gone down 410. So, and then protective clothing appears to have gone up $50. Overall, the budget has come down roughly $2,000.
Shelving and chairs for the,
The shelving is for the radios and chairs for the EMD office.
is this a new trailer that's being outfitted, or?
No, the trailer's gone. Last year, it was, I'm gonna call it a cost code for emergency management trailer maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
That was completed this year. So there isn't another budget for it again next year. So what he's appears to have done is renamed that account number for the budgeting of shelving in the EMD office for the radios and chairs.
There isn't any there now, is that it? It came out of the trailer? I'm just trying to understand why.
There's no association between the
Okay.
trailer
All
and what I'm gonna call the relabeling
And there
of
were no,
Where do they meet? Where is their office? Is it
downstairs,
yeah,
downstairs.
and there was no shelving and chairs in there before? Okay.
There may have been,
Would you have any
you had a
idea?
couple of chairs?
I thought there was extra chairs, but
Yeah.
I don't know what he's gonna rearrange down there.
Yeah.
My concern is, why is the trailer being dropped off of the maintenance? I don't think the work has been done, as far as I know.
They did have,
All the work I did,
but George did more work after himself.
okay,
He did it.
all right.
Yeah.
I just don't wanna see that get back into the situation we had 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Is there a reason he's not here tonight?
I don't know why he's not here.
There is, you know.
Well, I don't think we should approve anything until he shows up, don't you think? I'm curious, again, for example, $1,000 for shelving and chairs, I'm curious, I can get a lot of shelves and chairs for $1,000. Is there something else besides shelving and chairs under that he's, does that include the radios?
No, the radios.
Right,
are
I didn't
down.
think so, I
Yeah.
was being
Yeah.
facetious.
Well, I think he wants to
Well, we can ask
arrange
him
the
for-
office down there, that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
For his, to see what he feels he wants.
Redecorate?
No,
No, but, and the way I
That's what
look
it
at it
sounds
is, on a last year's budget of 11,000, he's reduced it almost to.
well, 1,300 was for
Yeah.
a one-time shot of the computer,
Yep.
so.
So he didn't reduce that went
Just
away
went away.
automatically.
Okay, so $700.
So no kudos for that. Yeah.
Lost his
Well, the other thing to bear in mind is that he could have left it there and increased it and said, I'll hire somebody to do the maintenance on it rather than doing it himself. Anyhow,
I mean, he just should be here to justify his figures. That's all. That's what my expectation was. There's no reason you need to defend any of it, David.
correct.
I mean, other than that, I think that's a reasonable budget for emergency management too. It's a little under 9,000, which is,
Well, I don't know what other towns spend or what's appropriate. This is what he's asking for, and the only thing I question is, are you redecorating, you know? How do you think?
Well, I mean,
Think it's pennies, water under the bridge? Emergency management term.
I'm a little concerned. I'm not sure what this 650, these last three digits, I'm pretty sure that those codes mean something, so I don't know if it was strictly a 615 or maintenance code.
What's your question?
The code doesn't mean
account number.
anything.
Yeah.
The code means nothing. It's
That
a,
just means when a bill comes in, that's where they track the accounting for
I
it.
understand that,
Okay.
but normally,
They're locked
accounting
in
codes, they're locked into certain types of, for a
expenditures.
purpose, you know, like
right.
in computer equipment
Yeah,
or.
it's not something we have to
Maintenance.
worry about. That's,
Okay, so
if they need to change the account code, they'll change the account code.
Okay, so my other question would be, is, as I said, if he's not here, you know, to explain himself, but maybe a portion of that is for some maintenance items that on the trailer that he wants to continue on with. We just don't know.
But-
I don't think, I don't know, shelving and chair,
We just like to see him explain,
Mhm.
that's all.
I put a note on mine to get back up from George on shelving chairs,
Yeah.
why, amount, use, etc.
And the budget committee was inquiring.
part of it. Well, I mean,
Oh, I'm sorry.
he's up and left, so does that count as him attending? Come in here and throw papers at?
I have no idea.
What papers did he?
He gave back his budgets.
I asked Linda to
Oh,
give
he
him a
back
set of
the budget.
documents
Okay.
because he was here. I
think-
asked him to sit with us when we came in, and
Okay.
he said no.
well, maybe we should have called that portion of the meeting to order and that would have been done.
I don't know. And now he's gone.
Well, in all reality, it's, I don't know, and that may be the discussion. It's a joint meeting
Right.
Mhm.
as part of the selectmen. That doesn't mean that this is where you decide on your budget. This is so that we try to get the department heads to be able to come to one
One
meeting,
time.
talk, you get as much information, you ask as
Mhm.
many questions. Then you can have a meeting to
Sure.
actually finalize your budget.
Sure.
So I don't know which is what we've done for several years, is that if it was held on a
Right.
budget committee night and the selectmen attended,
It would be the same
it
thing.
was, but you guys would run the
Right.
meeting.
Exactly.
It's on our night, so we run the meeting, but everyone has the opportunity to ask all the questions instead of making these poor, department heads come to multiple meetings.
Mhm.
So
Exactly.
I don't understand what the question is.
Well,
and
he-
he did bring that up in Mark check.
He claimed that it was illegal to have joint meetings, with the exception of land use board, that you couldn't have joint meetings of departments. I inquired to municipal authority.
Yeah.
And they replied, it's perfectly fine as long as both meetings are posted and people are aware for the right to know law that this is taking place.
Yeah.
No problem.
Perfect.
Thank you,
And
Mark.
forwarded it to him and the rest of the team in Carlotta, as a matter of fact. So, I don't know what his issue is.
I'm not gonna get heartburn over it.
Oh, good.
So what's next?
Next is planning board, and I'm gonna ask you if you want the chairman to be here. He got notified late and sent us an email. He had a prior commitment this evening when he was notified. We can review what he's presented, or he said, if you'd like to reschedule it, he'll try and get.
Well, let's see what he's got here.
The planning board education and training, they kept it the same, and they've used $110 so far this year.
They used 261 last year.
I thought you asked them to do zero-based.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah. I'll
Which means you
be-
don't normally go necessarily by what you.
Spent.
Well, what you budgeted last year.
Right.
But, and again, I'm not here to defend, I just want everyone to understand, is that, for example, John and I both share the duties of the ex officio member on the planning board, okay?
Right.
The LGC Municipal Center puts on classes of which we can go to. And myself personally, I used to go to all of them. And then now they seem to repeat. So like I'll say, well, I'm not gonna go to those, but like if one came up and I go, then it would have been on there. And because the planning board is so diverse, and now actually they've got a new member that's there as an alternate, but I can see them probably using this more. I know since Bert and Deidre have been going to a lot of the programs that I call it the LGC, but the New Hampshire Municipal Association puts on. So that for that one item, I think it's more of you make sure the money's there for those that do want to go.
Well, so is it just like all these others have next year requested, he doesn't even have that column on here, is that?
Do you not have the sheet with the numbers in it?
I don't know.
This one. This one. Planning and
Oh,
zoning.
this goes, okay, what is that? Okay.
That's zoning.
Oh, that's zoning, okay, sorry, got the right one.
Would you like to rephrase your question?
Yeah. He does have, he brought over the wrong number at the bottom. That bottom number should be 4,300, not 1029.
Yeah.
Well, we'll approve the 1020.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I'm like, if he can make that math work, I will approve that 1029 without a second guess.
Obviously, he wasn't prepared, he didn't realize the meeting was
Right.
probably through stuff to get him up.
In his email, regarding the next line item, the technical assistance, Brown Engineering is the town's engineer. Whenever the planning board receives a subdivision or whatever, that goes up to them to review. The applicant, though, pays all of those fees. But because there's times where the planning board will want to go to him to get some technical advice because, you know, looking at a drawing, they're not engineers.
Mhm.
They budget that, and
Is this contractual? Is this, it seems to be the same every year. Is it?
it's not a contract,
It's
no.
not.
It's just a matter of, let's say,
Is it a retainer of
No,
sorts?
no. It's strictly, when he comes down, we pay him hourly.
If they need technical support.
No,
Yeah.
I understand why they
Yeah.
need it. I'm just curious about the figure.
And many times, what they try and do, because of the planning board, is a lot of times there are two options. We can either go to council or go to the engineer, and their route is always trying to go to the engineer because they're
It's cheaper.
cheap.
There's no
More
actuals.
cost effective, huh?
There's no actuals, though.
Right,
No.
because this year they haven't done it. They've been trying not to even bring him in. I know
Okay.
On the email.
they've been asking about, oh, should we have him come down so that we can review things? And because he's out of, I want to say Pembroke or something, it's like north of Concord. And I said, well, by the time you pay a guy 4 hours of travel to sit for an hour's meeting, myself, I'm like, let's wait till we have a big enough issue to warrant paying that kind of money.
Where's this money go at the end of the year when it doesn't get spent?
Goes back to
General.
general fund, which then lands up going to
Fund surplus.
fund balance,
Fund balance.
yeah, which is money that can't be Are you familiar with that fund balance? Okay.
Can't spend it on anything that it wasn't designated.
No, there's only 3 things fund balance can be used for. If the board requests from the Department of Revenue that there's an emergency that we need funds, if they approve it, then that can be done. The board can use it to offset the tax rate and by the voters voting on it. That's why a lot of times on a warrant article it'll say to be funded through the fund balance. So those are the only 3 ways.
Well, if he's pretty sure postage isn't gonna be going up, then
There's 2 things there, just so you can understand why there are 2 line items that postage and postage hearings. Postage is for general postage for the planning board.
Yeah.
The postage hearing is every time there's a public hearing, we need to
Notice.
advertise it, send it out. We get reimbursed for that. And even though we're getting reimbursed, the DRA requires us to budget the money for it. So,
Does the reimbursement reduce it as it comes in?
let's say, for example, this year's budget was $500, okay? But we're reimbursed $509. So it's what you budgeted, but you've been reimbursed. So really, the applicants have paid $9 over what we budgeted. Years ago, we used to say, well, we'll put in $1.
Yeah.
But DRA said, no, you have to use some type of basis. Use what the previous year was or something close to it.
And on on the revenue statement,
Yeah.
they will show a line item for planning board hearing postage on the revenues. And then you'd be able to see that amount of revenue matched what they spent.
Okay, all right, that's what I was wondering.
But you'll never see it on this page because it's on the revenue side of it.
Yeah.
well, I don't have any problems with this budget. We'll just fix that last number there to be 4,300.
Yeah.
What do you okay?
I
All
think
right.
so.
Yeah.
I mean, the postage, the notices, all that, that's more a function of what activity actually takes place over the course. We can't control it.
Right.
Right.
You know, you can't really predict it.
You want to be spending that money, because otherwise nobody's doing anything in town.
Right.
There's no need for it. Okay, so what is this one?
The next one is the professional auditors.
Do we wanna do the zoning together? Cause, well, this one says
I don't know why
planning and
they're-
zoning and then planning board and then zoning.
I don't know why they're listed.
I'm going to present the zoning,
Okay.
so I saved that one for last.
Okay.
It's gonna wear us down.
Well, don't forget the auditor.
That's the one I was going on to now.
Oh, okay.
That's when I started.
Where is he?
We don't want him here, trust me.
We wanna pay him.
This is a contracted service. We've already contracted with them, it's like a 3-year contract, so this is an increase for the next year. And those went out, we had gotten bids from auditors for it, so. I think this is the,
How often do you send?
I think it's every
How
3
often do
years.
RFPs go?
Yeah,
I
this
think
is
it's every 3
I think
years.
it's the second year on it.
Yeah, he says here it'll last
So
through
is
the
the
219.
second year budget gone up on the cost?
No.
Well, that's what it was when they,
When you had your contract, this was the second?
correct,
Okay.
yeah.
got it.
Yeah, it was 17, which was the 15,250 this year and next year.
So this is pretty much, this is the end deal?
Yeah,
You committed
yeah.
to this? Okay.
Do you have that sheet like that, you got it? I was just thinking of it. This is a, expense report, see if you look at it, actually see.
This is what she's emailing.
I did,
Okay.
no.
What you're looking at here for zoning
Zoning, yeah.
does not match the others that we've looked at, okay?
Right.
It's only because we've got the wrong cover sheet on here.
Oh, okay.
The attachments, is this what they wanna buy with their new budget? Is it-
That's what it is, and this is what,
All right.
this is what they're supposed to
Yeah,
provide, is
yeah,
what the backup
exactly.
is, okay? And someone did a very good job of putting that together for us. Thank you, Laurie. The first sheet, which is,
This is this year's budget to date?
Yeah, that's what you're looking
what,
at.
Yeah.
what the zoning board submitted for next year's budget was the same thing that they had for this year's budget.
Okay. So we're looking at the current year budget, it's gonna be the same
Correct.
for next year.
Yes, the 1304. And again, it's similar to the planning board one. Educational training. The notices and advertising, same thing as the planning board. General supplies. The postages are the same. Postage, the $10 one is just for the ZBA, but the postage reimbursement is the applicants.
Okay.
And then the ZBA publications, you'll see we've got two different ones. One is on the Southwest Regional Planning Commission. They have planning and land use manuals. And there is another one that we have. What is it? Do you have the one from Nexus? Or is that it? Maybe that comes right through South. That is the one. Yep. These are the books that zoning, and although there's different budgets, but zoning and planning board have the same land use manuals, yeah.
So they're down here on the bottom.
Yes,
Publication.
yes.
So is this an accident, or this is the way they're presenting their budget
No, we should,
proposal?
what happens is, should have gone to Carlotta, and Carlotta normally transfers it to here.
Okay.
I know when I looked at it, seeing it's all the same type, I thought, oh, it's the same thing, but now that I look at it, I say, oh no, this is our budget sheet that we look at.
Right.
So,
And they've gone over budget. Again, this is a situation where you don't know what you know until you know it.
yeah. And if you look at, for the postage reimbursement, you budget 500, and the reason why they kept it at 500 for next year, what skewed the 1,057 was USA Properties on their submission for Stoll Road had to notify all the abutters. Well, because they abut the Green Crow development, all 70 some odd people had to be notified, and that's what skewed that number.
Now,
So
so if that was in a
I said Green Crow, Green Farm.
US.
Right.
Sorry, correct myself. Common land. Yeah.
So does that comes back? that
We
came
get
back to us,
reimbursed.
So that, for that same amount?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we really weren't over budget?
Correct.
No, it's
Correct.
just.
But when you look at
accounting.
it, you say, well, yeah, it is
Yeah.
over budget, and
Mm-hmm.
we said, well,
The
why
revenue-
why
the
was it
revenue
so much
there,
this
it's
year?
offset.
Yeah.
Paper.
We do better on the envelopes.
I think that's all we have for this evening
Yeah.
on budgets. Did Carlotta give you a list of what the next week's budgets are gonna be, by any chance? No. Well, we did, I did ask Carlotta for, because she's new also, is that last year we were asking that the department heads, so whoever puts the budgets together, have them available by Thursday of the preceding week, so that you can look at them, we can look at them, and
That
not
would be
just see it blindly. So I've asked her to try and get that.
These are the
to you.
smaller ones, so it's
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
So how many more meetings are, and what's just the, just so I, are we gonna be doing this every Tuesday night for a while? Should I,
I think,
Probably for October and November.
Cause I mean, I do have one board meeting on a Tuesday night.
You can skip, we don't mind.
Hmm?
We don't mind if you skip that board meeting.
Yeah, you do, it's the ambulance, and we're doing budgets.
Oh.
You can't have it both ways.
Make it like a three-way meeting? Yeah. There's,
Depending upon what's going on that night, and
Yeah.
how intense it is.
Right.
Do you know when it is yet?
Hmm?
Do you know when
It's the
that?
third Tuesday, that's when we meet every month.
Oh, okay.
okay.
So
Well,
just,
if you're doing budgets, we know we're not gonna be seeing that.
well, that budget,
That
that
budget,
budget,
right, so-
right, that budget doesn't come to the town, it's really a vendor's budget, but we have to get things prepared. I mean, we're basically a vendor to the town at this point. We bring it up to you just so that you have an idea of what we are gonna charge for the year, so you have no surprises. We've been able to hold it for the last couple of years at the same, and that's why we're doing meetings, to try and do the same thing, to try and keep it held. There's a couple of variables coming up that we weren't expecting. Workman's comp.
Okay.
All right.
You're doing this for the town?
Well, we just,
Liaison between the ambulance
So
service?
could I just,
we just present to the town what the number is so that you can budget for it. It's a vendor's now, it's just like, you're gonna get charged for salt or fuel or whatever.
Mhm.
could I just make a suggestion too, because I noticed on this email from Bernie Hamill.
Yeah.
Carlotta reached out to him just today, asking him if he was gonna, if he or one of the planning board members was gonna be present tonight. I don't know, maybe she did send an earlier email out reminding them about this meeting, I don't know, but normally I think it's a good idea to follow up with them on the week before, like 7 days before,
Yeah.
or whatever. Just to, again, make sure that they have it on their calendars,
And she contacted the auditor yesterday,
yeah,
according to the emails,
so.
about tonight.
Just confirming the price is all it was, yeah.
Right,
Which,
but that was the contract
Yeah.
amount, so
Right,
Yeah.
that wasn't gonna change. They'd already
So how many more meetings do you think we're gonna, just if you
I'm
were to
saying
guess?
between now and the end of November.
And I
Oh,
also
okay.
kinda noticed
Yeah.
that I was looking for the minutes of your selectmen's meetings for like the month of September. I don't, did
Yeah.
you not have any?
Not
Because there's
posted.
no minutes posted on the website for September. Last ones are August.
Who posts that?
I post whatever people tell me. I can't just take it off the computer. and
Whatever
post it.
people
How do
tell
I know
you?
if they're approved? I don't know if they're approved.
They're all approved.
They don't have to be approved to be posted.
Do they have,
They can be
Well,
They
replaced
don't
with
have to
approved.
be, but we
but that's
Right.
how we
Yeah.
do
I
it.
don't
Yeah.
want to do it right,
hate to have something incorrect out there, cause then, wow,
Exactly,
Yeah.
So I just bring
Uh,
that to your attention because it would've been
Can you put a
helpful to
note
me to see some.
No, and obviously if you
History.
can, if you can get them ahead of, give us a great reading for the weekend. too.
yeah. well, In fact, if you put that in the meeting, if she can mail them out to them, to the budget committee members.
It'd be
She
easier
does
just to
email.
post
She
them.
doesn't,
Yeah.
email. anymore.
Email?
I think you did
Post.
request that.
No,
I
huh?
think you did
You
request
email?
that last
Yeah.
time.
Mark, you on email?
I am.
So,
No,
yeah, if she
I
can
just wanna
email
see them
that.
posted. Meeting agendas posted.
But for the RSAs, or to be so that
He's
you're.
talking about emailing the budgets that we're gonna be dealing with the following Tuesday on
Oh, the
Thursday maybe,
financials?
so that
Oh,
we.
yeah.
Just
all right, we
like
can
your budget that
preview-
you
Oh,
looked at
yes.
tonight,
That
that
would
way
be
there
good.
you can
Yeah.
look at it at
That would be
home,
good.
come in with
Yeah.
questions and,
Preview.
yeah.
Yes.
And that's okay as long as you don't talk on the side about it. You guys can have a
Exactly.
meeting and do the,
Yeah.
everybody knows about the right to know law, 91A?
Right.
Okay.
I was talking about the selectmen's minutes.
Yeah, I got that one.
That they need to be
Yeah.
in compliance, so.
And we should have them all signed off, because
So
normally she
do
has
you
been
send
told
the
to be
minutes
signed.
to Lauren to be posted?
We never make
How do you do it?
you
Well,
know.
she's
Carlotta
doing the
just
minutes.
forgot to tell me.
Or
She's
maybe
writing
she
the
doesn't.
minutes. She'll send them
Both
to
of
us
us
to
should know by
review.
now.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, all right.
and they'll post them. I don't believe I'm allowed to post anything.
I just wanna kinda keep us to the line, because I do think if we vary from the line, somebody's gonna try and step on our toes.
Right, so
Mhm.
when you are,
Which line?
In the record of the
Just
minutes,
quick.
just make sure that there's a record that this was a joint meeting of the budget committee, so these are the minutes of
We need
joint
minutes to post.
selectmen
Right.
and
Also.
budget committee, so we need a copy to post on under our.
To Pat's question, the minutes for any of the September selectmen meeting aren't posted. There's nothing on the website.
No, the last one was August 7th.
August 7th was the last time selectmen meeting minutes were posted. I inquired about our minutes from our September meeting, and those aren't posted either. I talked to her at least 2 weeks ago about it.
And she has them?
She sent me a copy to approve, but they're
Which
still
again,
not posted. I mentioned it in
They
an
need to be
email.
approved by the whole committee.
They
not
should,
just-
ideally. I think there were only 2 of us that night, but regardless.
Yeah, they were,
So were they approved? They're all set?
No,
Oh, they're not?
haven't seen them.
when she sent it to me directly, I said, they look good to me. I've never seen them again.
And then I sent him an
Anyway.
email asking if the minutes were, him and Carlotta both,
Oh.
have the minutes been posted, because I don't see them on the website.
So I pinged her again and
Can
asked
I
her.
get a copy
where
emailed
are
to
they?
me before the meeting tonight?
She didn't reply to that.
She
It
did
just-
send me an email before she left today and asked if I could post some minutes, and I'm pretty sure I posted them.
Yeah, I didn't send the email until Friday, and
Okay.
office was closed, and
I know I posted some on, I did come in on Friday for a couple hours, I can't remember if I did it Thursday or
Yeah, I
Friday, I
got-
posted something, and then I posted something again today that she had sent.
Are you on the site now, Mark?
I am.
Is there anything under the budget committee page?
I'm headed there. It's the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's not too fast over
A
here.
little bit slow.
Yeah.
No. Not since June.
June.
Okay, but that's what she had me post today.
No,
The June
those
20th.
June minutes were up, have been up for a while.
I just posted the June minutes today.
Well, we had a
Well,
meeting.
you're right, there's 2 postings here. The Jews
I'm
are here
sorry.
twice.
That was our initial meeting, June, and then we
Right.
had a meeting
Yep.
in
Sept-
August.
September.
September.
September,
August,
or
we had a
9.
meeting, and then we had a September meeting.
August, we met jointly with the
June
select.
meetings are
Right.
just
Well,
twice.
that's
And September, we met
I wasn't here for that August.
just for,
Right.
right.
Let me just ask one, because I'm thinking I'm hearing different things. You want to see your meeting minutes posted, but as a budget committee, you haven't approved them yet. Can you,
We'd like to see our minutes at all.
Because
At
you
this
want me
point.
to go
Well,
see what's
no.
on the computer?
Yeah,
I can.
yeah.
I mean, if they're sent to
Just-
us, I can forward to Mark, I approve this, and he can, instead of you getting it from all of us,
that you can't do?
you can't.
No, that's that 91A.
Yeah,
So you have to approve them.
if we could
If it's
see them
going to
tonight,
a
then we
public.
can approve them, and then.
No,
she
that's
can-
true.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
And that's why
okay.
now, she can print them out. If you want to look at them, say yay, nay.
That would be
okay.
good.
Or
Make
we
a
can go
correction.
somewhere else if you wanna go
Yeah, no.
on with your meeting.
Oh, we're gonna keep going on, but you're
Okay.
welcome to stay. You don't
Yeah.
have to
Okay.
leave.
All right, now this is,
Let her.
make sure we do it by the
Okay.
numbers.
So the bottom line was, meeting notices need to be at least 24 hours prior and ideally more when there's gonna be a meeting, anybody's meeting.
I think it's more than 24 hours.
No, I read it
The
today.
RSA's
I looked it up on
Not
the
48?
RSA. It's a minimum of 24 hours,
Excluding Sundays and holidays.
a minimum of 24 hours.
Okay.
But meeting minutes should be posted within 5 business days
Or
of the meeting.
available for inspection,
Available
that's what it
for the
says.
public.
Not
And
just
they're
like posted,
available
but in the
here.
office.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
That's what I was talking about. So it says,
So
"Email
typically,
prepared
we
follow-up
should be
letter from the
approving
town
last
administrator that states
last meeting's
permits
minute.
Yes.
And then
To
start.
clarify
the
again,
meeting.
all work took place
Well, if you
outside
start the meeting,
jurisdictional
and then you
wetlands.
approve the minutes,
First
with the
off,
intent
right.
of
That's
avoiding
right.
wetlands.
That's what we do
And then we
before.
move on to
Yeah.
business.
Right, that's the
She's
first thing we do is approve last month.
So we're not gonna meet,
Right.
just us, just to approve.
Yes.
Right.
But that's what I mean, it's very cool.
Although we
We
could,
didn't
we
do
could
the
go
work
out in
in
the
the
hallway
wetlands.
and do just
The bridge
that.
was
Pat
brought in by
said.
crane.
We can have our own meeting.
A big piece of it was
Obviously.
brought in by crane, and that's what they're saying, but no, that was my take, is that, no, we didn't
Yeah, I can't wait.
hurt the wetlands, because we didn't build it there.
We're on TV.
It's a very odd.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Uh,
So we're all,
We're all set with
We're all set.
We're all set
budget
with
stuff?
that, guys.
Okay.
We'll see Linda
Uh,
and see if she
Wait,
got those.
But you probably don't wanna start without her either, 'cause she's taking your minutes. Oh, she's
She's
recording?
recording,
Okay.
I spoke with Bart today regarding the cemetery,
Okay.
and as I read this, and I wanna pull the maps and the documents out, because my understanding was we have the cemetery with that dam,
Mhm.
and we own this land that's at the dam. But in the front is where the state property was, and that's where we should not have used it for burial.
Mhm.
That's my understanding, and what I was trying to explain to Bart, and he says, I wasn't aware of that, was that where we have the cemetery and there is the dam, we have the documents from what they were constructing, and the easement that was granted for them to put that there. But there's nothing on that document or in the easement that says we need to give them 50 feet to maintain, 25 feet to maintain. So in his,
Oh, with the state saying it would cost them too much money because they'd use smaller equipment.
smaller equipment, I'm saying, Bart, we never told them what size easement's there.
Right,
So,
so really it comes down to, yeah, I mean, if the easement, because, no, I'm assuming the easement is, so the graves run this way, okay?
Yep.
And there's this easement here, because that's where the culvert runs underneath, right? Is that what you mean?
right, but there is no dimension for this
There's no
easement.
dimension
There's
for
no
the easement.
dimension.
Okay, because this is everyone calls it a dam, I call it a levee.
Okay, a
So,
levee.
so we've got, so this is the levee here.
Yep,
And then we came down here and this is where we were walking.
Yep.
And that's where the culvert runs underneath and we could feel it kind of certain
right
spots.
along the toe.
Yeah, right along,
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, so, okay, so there's
no
no.
dimension here,
Mhm. That
anywhere
says-
in the documents.
Okay.
And that's why he says, I wasn't aware of that. He says, I thought there was, what I told him, I says, I'm gonna look again tonight, I'll scan it and send it to you, but he says, well, if that's the case, then that's something different. Now, I said, where the state owns the land, we're guilty,
Right.
you know, but, to try and put the costs,
Right. Because that's what they were saying, is that we had put these people too close to the easement.
right, and I don't see anything, so if maybe after the meeting, if we can grab those documents out of the folder there, that would, go a
Let's
long
help,
way.
yeah.
Yeah. What else? Could you put into the meeting minutes also, I'd like to find out from Carlotta where we are with the, DRA regarding the proposed tax rates for 2018 and 19. I haven't heard anything on that,
Haven't
and
seen
usually
anything.
it happens. One of the other announcements from Chief Lund today was the new engine 1 is scheduled to be delivered tomorrow, and there will be a community dedication on November 3rd at 10 o'clock at the fire station.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Says there's a whole ceremony that goes along with it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
projects.
That was it. There was something else just recently. I meant to write it down. I forgot. There was something that popped into my head that I forgot to. I wasn't sure if it was on our list or.
This is a donation from the Children's Fair, not the NACC. Or is it
Correct.
this-
Children's Fair.
Yeah, it's a separate entity within the church.
Is that else?
Oh, yeah. So that was part of it, the pool filter?
Yeah.
Leak or whatever. I don't, so we have not seen a new quote since we decided to have the highway department do the cutout of the concrete and then the reapplication of the concrete. We had gotten a quote for that leak in the pool deck. And we said, well, can't we just have the guys take the saw to it and dig it out?
Refresh my memory, did they itemize that out? I thought there was some costs that were itemized. Was it the
There-
replacement?
There were some I think he had, cut out, or like excavation, replacement of thing, and then reapplication. I think there was some sort of
Let me ask, if you could ask Carlotta to have
Because-
for us for the next meeting, a copy of that proposal for the repair of the pool line.
yeah.
That was for where we're losing water, correct?
It was it's a leak, like a pipe that's in the
Yeah.
pool, like in the pool deck, the patio part of the pool, I believe.
Copy of the quote
Yes.
for the pool.
To repair the
It's like a leaking pipe. or
water
something.
line.
Yeah,
of-
water line,
for the
yeah.
pool.
Because Dee had asked me if we had gotten anything on that.
Anything else on that list that?
Don't believe so.
Yeah.
I do have to say I've gotten several people on the upper side of town there that are enjoying the paved road
Good.
on Timber Top. And besides that first morning, I don't really feel that I think the paving company did a good job controlling traffic and everything after that first morning, and very efficient in their work, and the road's in great condition, so I think they did a nice job.
Good. I think the taxpayers are seeing the fruits of their money with the road program. I did walk Green Farm Road the other night just to
Yeah.
see how it was, and
Yeah, I drove it the other day, same thing, where they retopped Greenville Road a little bit, and then that, yeah, I think it's definitely making a difference.
I do want to check with Peter where he is on striping those roads, because
Yeah.
night visibility is tough.
Yeah. Well, someone did bring that up too, that with so many cars, especially maybe certain people are buying the lane assist,
The what?
the lane
Oh,
assist
yeah,
vehicles.
yeah, yeah.
And some of them don't need the striping and some of them do. And they made the comment, look, we don't expect every road in town, but if you hit, like you said, you're coming in Greenville Road or Green Farm or Timber Top, something, it gets dark up there.
Yeah.
And, you know, we don't need streetlights out everywhere, but yeah, that striping would make a difference, at least for the lane assist on, because we got, you know, I don't wanna pigeonhole any part of our demographic, but, you know, our elderly residents.
Go ahead.
are-
I get the
People of your age, you know.
I have a hard time seeing that.
Oh, no, it is. Well, that's like we were talking the other night at the planning board, that I said the same thing, like I moved up here from down south and I'm like, are they afraid of reflective paint? Because it rains at night and you lose even just the striping you can lose in the rain and everything looks the same. But it's a two-part process and they don't like coming behind it with the glass beads, so. But it's an.
Well, we got plenty of glass.
I know, that's just it.
Just mix it in with the paint.
Yeah, all you do is it's someone's right behind it and they're spreading glass dust on it so they right onto the wet paint, and then the rest of it washes away, but the glass glistens at night.
Hmm. I'm trying to think if we have any other updates. With fire, I was gonna ask Meredith if she was here tonight, we had asked her during the review to give us, you know, a monthly update, and she forwarded the meeting minutes, which to me isn't what I was looking for. I don't know about you.
It wasn't perfect, but it was better than what we had been getting. At least shows
Yeah.
what they did, what their plans are, and I think from that we can then ask, take that and make it into a workable document that we're looking for. But I was very appreciative of what we got. It
Yeah.
at least lets me know that different people have different things that they're looking at. It's not all. There's definitely some assigned tasks. So if we have questions, we now know who we can talk to about different pieces. But like I said, as far as a first update, I was happy with it. But I'd like to see, just a little different working document.
There's a lot of information in there that's really not
Right.
relevant at our level, so
Right.
that's all I was gonna.
I hung that up. No? Sorry.
Fire, police, highway. That's all I have. Wanna make a motion?
Motion to adjourn?
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.